Hey there, this is Malorian, and this will be the coverage of the Steamroller I just went to. The tournament is called Out of the Basement, and well, I explained this for this blurry picture. Sorry, I gotta start with this, but really the whole idea here was I was supposed to be going with Stryker1 and Stryker2. My Stryker1 is with double storm wall, but I kind of dropped the ball. Didn't get the second one painted, so to kind of penalize myself, I actually took Nemo1, which I haven't run in a really long time. But yeah, hopefully I can do Stryker2 for most of the tournament. And yeah, anyway, let's get to this blurry picture here for the first game. Turned out I was up against my buddy Sean, who is a really strong player and beats me much more than I beat him. So hard way to start the tournament. This is my Stryker2 list that you've seen in my last few games. I got Stryker2 running Rowdy. There is 2 units of Stormblades, the Rangers. I also have Junior, Gorman, Rupert. There's also Max Storm Knights. Sword Knights, Storm Guard, and Nis Hunters. On the other side there, he's got the Singing Chick with Mulg and 2 units of Warders, the Burrowers. There's a Fell Caller. There's a Impaler. There's an Axer. There's a Feral Geist. But the main thing here is that this mission here is not kill box. First of 5 points, you get 1 for, let's see here. You get 1 for controlling the zone, 2 for dominating the zone, and you can get 1 if you dominate the flag. There's also the objectives here, and you can get 1 for destroying the enemy objective. And really, I gotta say, is once I saw this, and he's going with all these warders and stuff, I thought I could actually pull off going for the scenario, especially since I see he has a Feral Geist that's basically going to be going over there to try and tie it up. I can actually get over there really quick and get to that flag. So I'm planning to go for a scenario, scoring off the right flag. So I get first turn, and everything is kind of rushing on up. I got the Arcane Shield up onto Stryker. I actually forgot to advance move my Stormblades. That was kind of dumb. But yeah, I got Deflection up and just kind of moving up. On his turn, he's moving up. His Burrowers burrow. They're definitely going to be a problem to me. His caster does his Crescendo to me, which kills a couple of the Rangers. And really, looking after this, I was really liking it because he's on the other side of the fence. I love running my Rangers up the fences and trapping people out of zones. So all of a sudden, I'm wondering if I can even start scoring a few on the left zone. But yeah, as you can see, he has a Feral Geist there on the right. And looking at this, I'm just going to jam and get that right flag. So that's what I really do. I really jam the best I can. Arcane Shield is now on Stryker. I cast Deflection. I have Heroic Call up into Sword Knights just to make sure they're tough and can really get in the way. But really, I'm just getting in his grill. I also pop my feet here. And so with some velocities and rushing over, I was able to kill the Feral Geist and then feet backwards to be into the flag. Now, I'm not going to score in this turn because I went first. But one of the things I really didn't really like is I really thought that I was going to be able to jam up the zone more to make sure those Burrowers had nowhere to go. But unfortunately, I just did not get enough in there. And from being so far on the right, the feet just did not cover enough. So those Burrowers might be trouble, but I really like how well things are jammed up here. So on his turn, really the biggest news was those Burrowers because they wrecked my day. They came in here, they killed all my Rangers, so that really freed up the Warders to get past, killed a ton of guys, and he also got the spell off on them where if I ever kill one, it's going to be making me be knocked down. So that's not really good. Meanwhile, on the right side, he does some damage over there. Old Rowdy does a little bit of a countercharging to try and help out a little bit here, but for the most part, he does, or what really matters is he does not get to the flag, so I'm going to score 1, and it's going to be 1-0. So looking pretty good so far. So on my turn, I'm really trying to consolidate here. Really, I kind of thought about trying to go up with Stryker, trying to kill the Axer, and then coming back, but it really wasn't going to work. So instead, I put Rebuke on the Axer, so that won't allow him to do his Thresher, and really just jamming again. Now Heroic Call is on the Storm Guard, really trying to kill what I can on the left side, trying to get it actually with the Electroleaps, but really, all I'm trying to do is just slow down and score. So Rowdy went in. He was supposed to hopefully kill a couple of those guys. Only gets the one. Tried to go and blind his Mulg, but unfortunately it scattered the wrong way and did not blind him. But otherwise, yeah, I'm sitting at 2-0 and feeling pretty good, especially because on his turn, we didn't talk about this, but he actually destroyed his objective. And the reason why he did that is because he was thinking about trying to trample Mulg over, but that gave me a point which he was not expecting. So actually it was 2-0 after his turn. Now it's 3-0, so I'm in a very good spot. In the end, he decided not to go with Mulg because he'd just be in too much trouble. But now he is really forced to try and get something to me. Otherwise, I'll score on his turn and do nothing and score on my turn. So that's what he does. Mulg is forced to trample over after he knocks down Rowdy with his caster, doing one of her screams. And yeah, Mulg is in there and he's contesting, but really that's not that big of a deal because I can always kill him with Stryker and just velocity right back. On the left side, I am more worried about this. The burrower's burrow, and otherwise he just keeps on grinding away at me. So I am starting to run out of dudes on the left, and I need to get this game over because I'm starting to run out of my chaff. So on my turn, that's what I do. I'm able to, I believe I throw 2 dice. I don't think I went for the full 3. Yeah, 2 dice, I think. Anyway, I kill Mulg, and I have velocity right back, so that's looking great. Really just tying up those warders. They're so damn tough, I'm not going to really do anything. But yeah, heroic call back up onto the Storm Guard. They're there just to kind of get in the way of the burrowers. And now we're 4-0. So if I just get one more, it's game over. And over here, the burrowers get to me. So what happens is I forget that he has dash. And dash means he's immune to free strikes. So these guys all come in here. They're all contesting. And if I can't kill them, it's going to be really bad. Luckily, I have a lot of attacks, a lot of Electro Leaps. So I think I'm going to be fine. So this is what it looks like otherwise. He still doesn't really get anything onto Rowdy because Mulg had to go over, and you know, he's just has these blind guys that can't do too much to me. But otherwise, look at the left zone. The left zone's starting to really get cleared out, and it's really just a matter of time before I have nothing there, especially since I'm going to have to pull back these Storm Guard to kill off these burrowers, meaning that if this doesn't work, he's going to be able to start dominating the left zone. So, really crappy picture. Sorry, I mean, it's a steamroller, right? So I'm taking pictures as fast as I can. But really, I come over here. You can see there that Selena kills one. The Storm Guard kill a good number. And all I got to do is, with all my focus, kill 3 burrowers. But I miss 3 attacks. He makes some toughs. He passes his command test. And he's still here to contest. So this is hugely bad because now I don't score. And now I'm worried about being overrun. So otherwise, I do my best to cover things. Rowdy takes a couple of free strikes to really jam up the right here. But yeah, I mean, the game could have been over, but just dice. So on his turn here, he comes over here to go for the assassination. First of all, he does his warders, and they're just really getting out of the way to make room for the caster. But the caster comes over here, does the scream to knock me down, also does some good damage. So I'm down to like 3 hit points, goes for the other scream to kind of finish me off. And I say, is that a shooting or is it magic? And he says, oh, it's a shooting. Well, you're engaged by the Storm Guard. So at that point, he just threw in the towel because he was also low on time as well. But really what it came down to is if he just would have actually used his warders, they could have killed this one Storm Guard and he would have been completely fine. Or if he was like another half an inch more to the right, he would have been completely fine. So luckily, the dice that stopped me from winning, I have some luck that makes up for it. So I'm up 1 game and feeling pretty good about it because, I mean, it was against a really strong opponent. And this is just kind of showing the overall board. You can see how he's just clearing things off. All right, so we're on to game number 2, and the scenario will be kill box. First one to 5, 1 to control the zone, 2 to dominate, and 1 for destroying the enemy objective. Now, I'm actually up against Crix here, and up against Epic Sturgis, who I've never played against, and on my side, this is my Nemo list, which was my penalty list for not getting painted. Now, to be fair, even though I call it a penalty list, it's still fairly solid as far as Nemo1 goes. With him, I am running Nemo1 with a Storm Wall, Thunderhead, Lancer. I also have in there the Tactical Arcanist Core. I have Junior, I have the Black 13th, and I have the Gun Mages with UA. So really, with Locomotion, Tricks, and me basically having 10 focus and being able to allocate 5 to a Jack, I can do a lot of work. And the covering fires here are perfect against Crix. Otherwise, he's also running the new Junior caster. I can't remember his name right now, but he's running 2 of the Flying Bone Chickens. He has Deathjack, a full unit of the Biles. Then he has the Bane Thralls with UA. He also has Tartarus and some other little toys. So really, the plan is pretty simple. Go up, do my cover fires, and just start shooting and killing things. And if he ever gives me the opening, just allocate 5 focus and kill stuff. But meanwhile, too, I mean, when I'm up at 10 focus, I can even throw out those chain lightnings like crazy. So I really think I'm going to chew through the infantry at least really fast. So I get first turn, which is awesome, because then that means I'm really just rushing up. So allocate 3, all the Jacks run up. I put Arcane Shield up onto the Lancer, Locomotive up my Thunderhead up a little bit more, and yeah, that's really just my turn, just getting into place. So on his turn, he puts Occultation onto Sturgis, and things are running up, and really this is just what I want to see, because now I'm going to be setting up those covering fire templates. I'm going to start killing all these Biles, and the attrition's going to start. So that's what I do. I go up with the Storm Wall, pop over a pod so that Ryan can shoot it. And yeah, with all that covering fire, he's going nowhere. Put in 2 chain lightnings, and they do some work there. The shooting really cleans out lots of the Biles. I pop 3 smokes from the Tactical Arcanist, or whatever, those guys, the dwarves. So they give me 3 power tokens. So next turn, I'll have 10 focus. And yeah, this is a very strong spot to be, because if he moves up at all, I can just go up and do my big pulse with Thunderhead. So in his turn, he's kind of forced just to get into the zone, and so really his infantry is just both running to get around into the zone. Otherwise, other stuff is going up to the fence. Deathjack comes over more to the middle to threaten my Jacks, and that's really it. He doesn't really do any damage to me at all. So really, he has 2 Banes that are tying up my Thunderhead, but otherwise, if I can kill those 2, I can pulse, I can kill off almost all the Banes, and then really, if I just feat, I can go and I can stop Deathjack, and really, I mean, if he doesn't have too much on him, focus-wise, he just can't kill my Jacks. I can put on Electrify, I can do all these things. So really, at this point here, I'm looking at attrition going so well that I'm actually going to start going for Scenario. So that's what I really do. I am able to use the Lancer to clear off the guys are in front of the Thunderhead. Thunderhead goes up. He pulses. I also do some chain lightnings. It does some damage. The Storm Wall goes up. It destroys the objective. I have Electrify up onto the Thunderhead, so if he even hits him, he's just going to bounce right off. On the left side, my shooting completely wipes out the rest of the Biles. I try and do more shooting to kill at least one of those little Winter Shadow Carbine guys. I don't know. I think it's what they're called. But the biggest, hugest mistake of this turn is that I move back Nemo, pop my feet, measure it after, and the Deathjack is like 14.5 inches away. So he is not disrupted, and that was just really, really dumb. And what ends up happening is Deathjack is able to charge over here and leave the Storm Wall on 1 box, which is in his right arm. So I can't allocate any focus. whereas normally he should have come in and done some. I've been fine. I'd allocate 5 and kill him right back. My storm wall is basically dead. And, I mean, he did have some hot dice, but, yeah, this is horrendous. Especially when you bring this in with everything else, which is really the way that between Sturgis coming in and popping his feet, killing a bunch of the gun mages on the left, tying me up, charging in with some of his guys. Thunderhead goes down. I also have the Lancer that's down to 1 box after all the charges on it. And I also have this other little flying chicken right in my face. So really, effectively, I lost all 3 jacks this turn. And that is just absolutely horrendous. And a big part of it is that the one guy, the Winter Shadow Carbine, comes up and does the thing where it dispels all the upkeeps I have. And I knew he had that, but I thought he could only do it to 1, and I thought it was a straight up just, okay, that's dispelled if I hit you. No, everything with 5 is dispelled, or basically purified off, and the people who cast it take D3 damage. And both Nemo and Junior take 3 damage from it. So once those things were lost, it was just really bad, and yeah, really, really sucks. So really, obviously, mistakes from the last turn really hurting me now, and now I'm wondering how the hell I can come back. And the only thing I got going for me is I'm already up 2 control points, so maybe if I can figure something out, I don't know. But really, I'm in desperate mode now. So luckily on my turn, I actually get a good amount of work done. Between Nemo and Junior, or sorry, the 13th and Junior, I'm able to actually kill the chicken that's tying up my Tactical Arcanist Corps. They charge in, they kill one of the Winter Shadow guys, and also kill Tartarus, so that's awesome. I do a big punch into Deathjack, do lots of damage, and then otherwise, what I do is I try killing the last one here, because he was able to kill off Lynch, and so I'm really running out of guys that can actually see stealth. So I actually hit my own guy with Arc Lightning just to try and kill that other guy there, but I leave him on 1 box while meanwhile doing little bits of damage to my guys. So that didn't really work, but hey, you know, at least attrition-wise, I kind of did okay. Oh, plus, by the way, my Chain Lightning killed my my Lancer, so that also wasn't supposed to happen. Alright, so on his turn, he is able to basically just stand up with the one last Bane. He was knocked down and tough from that Electrify, because he did that before dispelling it, but he's really coming into the zone here. He is able to use the Winter Shadow Carbine to shoot and destroy the storm wall, which allows Deathjack actually just to run over to Nemo. He kills another couple of guys. Sturgis had run over and killed 2 of the Tactical Arcanist Corps before teleporting back. And really, again, I'm being attrition down. He'd be scoring, or would he? Yeah, he would be scoring if... No, he still has to destroy the objective anyway. But the main thing is I'm running out of models. So now, again, I'm getting pretty desperate. And now, the only thing that's good about this is that since Deathjack left the zone, is that if I hit him with a Volcanic Snare now, which I'm now thinking I should have done before, if I hit him with that, he won't be able to move. So if I can get out and survive 1 free strike, he'll be stuck. I can try killing the stuff in the zone, score with Junior, and then all of a sudden he's in a big trouble spot here, because if I can ever clear it and run in with Nemo, I'll dominate for 5. However, I hit him with a Volcanic Snare, take the free strike, and I die. So he was a little bit about higher than average, plus if it wasn't for that 3 damage from the Winter Shadow Carbine before, I would have lived. You can see that otherwise I was able to kill the 2 Winter Shadow Carbine with the 13th. And really, the plan was to come over here and do Chain Lightnings to kill these lost guys over here, but was not to be. So Nemo fails me. Clearly, if I probably had a little bit more practice with this list, I would have done better. But yeah, you know, it was a good, fun game, fun opponent. And just kind of shows you what happens if you aren't a little bit too careful. Things can change on you very fast. So at this point here, it's 1-1. I'm chatting with the only other Signor player there about how things are going. And then it turns out we have to face each other, which is kind of neat because we have known each other for quite a while, but never actually played each other. So I'm going back to my striker because he is running Siege and also Cray, and I figure that I just don't want to take any chances with him getting something to Nemo, so I'm just going to go with the swarm of dudes. And the mission here now is not kill box. You get 1 for controlling the zone, 2 for dominating. However, if you dominate the friendly flag, it takes 1 point away from the opponent. So really hard to win by attrition. I've already gone over my list, but what he has is he's running his own rowdy. He has a defender. He also has a 13th, he has a Squire, he has Reinhold, he has 2 units of Rangers, he has his own Sword Knights, and he also has his own Blazers with Rupert. And really, the idea again is just to get up there, try and trap him out of the zone, because usually siege lists are more defensive, so if I can get him out of the zone, I can just score and win that way. Plus, if I ever see an opening, I'll go for the assassination. So I get first turn because I always get lucky that way. And really it's my usual thing. Arcane Shield up into the Sword Knights. Deflection, go up a little bit. Dirge is on the Nis. And yeah, just kind of getting into his face. On his turn, a little bit of blurry picture, but really what happens is that his Rangers eliminate my Rangers. Kills off one of the Storm Blades. On the right side, he has some pretty crappy dice, to be fair, and doesn't really get much done. I think he kills like 2 Nis Hunters, but that could have been a lot worse. So really, looking at this blurry picture, I'm in a very good spot now where I can charge in feet, kill lots of guys, and be sitting just fine. So that's what I do. For the most part, it goes well. I mean, I'm able to kill all the Rangers on the left, kill a bunch of Sword Knights, tie up Rowdy, get lots of things in the zone, be really threatening. However, when it gets to the right side, I put it up onto Dirge again, onto the Nis Hunters. They go into the Blazers, who also had Dirge on them, and I always kind of thought that they would just cancel each other out, but in fact, you have to go and test, each of you, and I fail my leadership 9. So really, whereas those Blazers should just be completely tied up, yeah, did not happen. I also then was also not able to kill off all the Rangers. There's 2 left on the right side, but you know what? It's not a big deal. I really have the center jammed up. If he's not careful, I'm going to dominate. And yeah, he's also in a very threatening spot where I have Stryker right up here ready to kill him. And this is just, yeah, an interesting interaction. And, you know, that's just one of the things that's good to play as many games as you can, because then you get to experience these things that, you know, you can only experience these weird things when you play lots of games. All right, again, a not great picture, but really what happens here is the Blazers come in, they clean up a little bit on the right. His Sword Knights do a little bit of damage to my Sword Knights. He's able to shoot down a lot of my Storm Blades on the left. But the biggest thing that happened here is he does Force Hammer to try and slam Rowdy into Stryker, hoping he'd be knocked down and then he can do all these things. But there's 2 problems. One, you can't slam Rowdy. When they're base to base, he can't be moved, and then of course I can't be knocked down either. Now maybe he thought he would slam him right through me, and then his Rowdy could get to my Stryker, but either way, I don't move. He wastes tons of focus. He starts trying to shoot at Rowdy, doing some damage. His Rowdy charges in and leaves me on like 2 boxes or something. But the biggest thing is that now we're looking at this and we know that Siege is dead because he's camping nothing and there's almost nothing between me and Siege. So really, Rowdy just needs to get out of the way. I set up a model up there that I can charge, although looking back on it, I didn't need to. I could always have charged the Defender and been out of his melee range because I have reach and he doesn't. I just then go and I velocity over the fence, go Super Saiyan, roll triple 1s, but it doesn't matter. With him camping nothing, I'm able to finish the job. So it was a good game, I think, in the beginning, or really just looking at the list. my list is something he does not want to face. Uh, Between Cray and Siege, he was right going with Siege, but it's just so hard to kill this many dudes. I mean, if the Blazers are really going awesome, they can do it. But yeah, in the end, it's the assassination that can always finish it too. So we're going into the fourth and last game, and at this point, I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm up now 2-1. Worst I can do is breaking even. And in this game here, I'm up against another Menoth player. Now, the mission here is kill box. There's only the 2 flags. You get 1 for controlling the far flag, 2 for dominating it, and then 1 for dominating the close one. So pretty simple and open. He had Harbinger, and he also had Krios. I had lots of practice against Krios, and I know that my striker can deal with it. It's not so good against Harby, but Harby's kind of scared of the storm wall, so luckily I win the list chicken, and he goes with Krios. So you know my striker list. He is running with kind of like what my brother runs, with 2 Reckoners, the multi-shot guy. He has the Zealots, he has the Errants. He's also running P. Iris. He has, of course, the Choir, the 2 Vassals, and Iana and Holt. So really, in this game here, I'm just going to need to make sure I'm staying in base to base with Rowdy until he pops his feet, so that'll be completely fine. And then I know I'm going to get hurt really bad by his feet, but then just grind down, look for the assassination. And really, I think, again, this could be something where I could start scoring and winning from the right flag if I jam enough. However, he got first turn. So he goes first. He has Defender's Ward up onto the Errants. He goes and he has Lamentation up. And otherwise, he's just kind of moving up. And the one thing I like to see is that P. Iris stayed back. Because if she would have moved more to the center, all of a sudden I have to be way more careful with Stryker. But luckily, she's far and away, so I'm pretty sure after I'm jam, I'm going to be okay. So really, that's all I do. I jam up the best I can. The Rangers just running up to engage. And I have Heroic Call up onto the Nisk, because I know they're probably going to be knocked down. Going for deflection, I have the Arcane Shield up onto the Sword Knights. And really just waiting to see how devastating his feat will be. And so his feat was pretty bad. It could have been worse. He stayed actually a little bit farther back with Krios. But as you can see here, he killed lots and lots of guys. Really, the Rangers I almost gave away for free because he would just kill one and then kind of get the quick work and do a free shot. Now, luckily, with my buffs and stuff, I was able to be fine. But we actually made a mistake here because it wasn't until after like the first couple of turns that he remembered that, oh yeah, that's 17 armor because of deflection, and he has blessed crossbows. So that was kind of a mistake on both of our parts, I guess. But anyway, the Zealots are going to pop the mini feat. They're going to be actually not running into me. They do the one where they go for Fervor instead. So I could kill them with magic attacks. But anyway, they start lobbing some bombs, doing some damage. And really, the worst things is that my Sword Knights failed their test, and my left Stormblades failed theirs as well. So that really sucks. And yeah. Now, at this point here, I'm going to need to try and jam the best I can, but I have lost a lot. So, one of the things I didn't really point out, but really between myself and Krios, who's camping 0, there was only 1 errant. So at first, I tried doing some shots into him and some attacks, trying not to draw too much attention to how critical it is, but he said that, you know, he didn't really know what the plan was, but he knew that clearly there was a plan, so he just kept on self-sacrificing, so I started giving up after that. This is going to be my feet turn, which actually makes it so I can actually get some real damage in, but really, I don't do that much damage. I'm able to kill off some of the errants and tie him up for the most part, but that's really all I can do. So, Arcane Shield is back on the Stryker, and the best I can do is hope that he won't kill too much back, so I can then kill lots with Electroleaps, and always looking again for the assassination. So on his turn, one of the things that goes well my way is that after he activates a lot of stuff and kills some of my guys, he comes up with some Zealots on the left, which allows me to countercharge with Rowdy kind of late in the activation. So that ties some of them up, really locks down the left side, gets Rowdy into a threatening position, and then after, to try and really save Krios, he goes and puts an Aliven Reckoner in front of me, well, Krios. So looking at it, I try to find some way I could get the assassination. It's really not going to work. And so I'm just going to look at this and go for attrition. But I really need this to be a good turn, because if you can see from here, from what I started with, I am down to almost nothing. So luckily, Electro Leaps can really do a lot of work, especially on these Zealots, which are easy to hit. So I really do a whole bunch. I charge into that Light Jack on the left, destroy its gun, and really mess it up. Stryker has to charge over and do some work on the left, but otherwise, I charge over, I miss Iris, but at least she's tied up. I have Heroic Call up on the Storm Guard, and the main thing is here is I'm still in a spot where I'm threatening assassination, both with Rowdy and with Stryker, so he has to really be kind of respectful of both, and yeah, the attrition is kind of evened up. So on his turn, he is able to come over and destroy Rowdy, which isn't too bad because now it's out of the way of Krios, but Krios does move more to the right, gets more out of the way, and he does just go for more attrition. He's able to kill the guy that was, Halt comes over to try and kill Selena, fails, and then so it's up to Iris, and Iris is forced to kill Selena. So really, he kills some guys here. I make like 3 toughs on one of my Storm Guard, and so it's, attrition again is going against me, but now I think I could get an opening to Krios, or I could actually go for the assassination. If I can just kill that one guy that's in between me and Krios, that's the guy that's by the Sword Knight, I could actually get up there and kill him. So that's what I do. It takes a lot of work, and eventually it's Gorman doing a corrosion bomb that kills him. But I'm able to go in here with Epic Stryker. I have to velocity for 2, which means it doubles to 4. So I have only 2 focus left when I get here. I go Super Saiyan. I go up to POW 28. And so I'll be at dice plus 10 with 3 attacks potentially. And I realize that plus 10, averages say that on 7s, I'm going to hit 2 out of the 3 and I'll win. I roll them out and I miss with all of them. Looking back on it, this was a very, very stupid move. Because really, I should be boosting to hit my charge, because really on average dice, he'll die to that anyway. And then if it doesn't, buy and boost again. So, wow. Huge, huge mistake. And I just feel like a complete idiot. So this is what it looks like overall otherwise. Some of the other options I had going into this were twofold. One, at this point, I was at 35 minutes to his 10. So winning by death clock was possible. As well, I could have black oiled one of the Reckoners, destroyed the other, and then been in a really strong spot. The reason why I didn't want to go for the attrition was because P Iris was eventually now going to be a massive player. I just could not tie her up anymore. And so I really thought I really had to go this direction. So I went for it, and really, because I was an idiot, failed. So on his turn, he just loads up the Reckoner, comes and smashes my head, and I die. So really disappointing loss here. This is when I was kicking myself for a lot. But overall for the tournament, went 2-2, which is not great. I mean, at this point, I feel I should be like in the 3-1 range. But hey, 2-2 is semi-respectable. Made some big mistakes here. But otherwise, I had a fun time. All 4 opponents I played against were all fun and good sports. And so, yeah, I mean, I have another tournament in 2 weeks. Looking forward to go to that. Until I went to put my stuff in the car, my tray falls off the roof of my car. I catch it the best I can, but all the stuff on the top and some of the stuff in the middle fall out, and there's lots of broken stuff. So really, this could have been a lot worse too. These guys could have been really shattered, but yeah, just kind of one of these things where I leave the tournament going, man, kicking myself for being so dumb, and then life kicks me in the nuts even more and says, hey, how about some broken bottles? So anyway, there you go. Hope you guys liked watching the games. If you have any suggestions on the lists or on the way I played, I'd love to hear it. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Bye.